Greetings and welcome back. Welcome back for a quick commentary. And the title is Sector Dysfunction. Now, some of you. Then again, I could be wrong. Maybe a little bit uptight with what I have to say. And believe me, I am not going to be messy. That's something I try to honestly stay away from, but I also feel as though sometimes certain things need to be said, and that is what I plan to do momentarily once I get settled, which I believe I am now. Thank you to those who may come in. There we go. And those who may catch the replay. So, sector dysfunction. I heard someone ask the question earlier about what's going on. Now, I travel, and I've been traveling throughout various sectors within the YouTube world, and many of them have some of the same issues. But in my opinion, and this is just that, my opinion, sometimes if there is someone that's considered the originator or quote unquote leader of a sector, that to me, again, this is just my opinion, that comes with a lot of responsibility. Sometimes you can be blamed for things that you have absolutely nothing to do with or no control. On the flip side of that, if I must be honest, you also should take accountability for some of your actions. And I mean that from the largest platform to the very smallest. And let me say this really quickly. I enjoy my small, intimate platforms because I don't have to deal with that drama. I've seen a lot of people experience drama, and it's showing on your faces. So that being said, and I want to make sure that I say this in the most diplomatic but honest way as possible. Those that are coming in, please double tap the screen if you would be so kind. I'd really appreciate that. In order to be a leader, in my opinion, oftentimes we do. Thank you for that thumbs up. Make sure you don't take it back once this is finished. I know some petty people who do things like that, but you know what? That's okay too. Back to dysfunction of a sector. And again, this can apply to many sectors. So you can take this as you may take it. Some people may receive it the way it's being delivered. Others, they may jump out of the window. If you do, happy landing on something soft. Now, in order, in my opinion, to be a good and strong leader, you have to know how to follow. You have to learn your audience. You should be intuitive. And from what I've observed for maybe a good 3, maybe 4 years now, I've seen a lot of dysfunction because there are people who allow others to handle business that the channel holders themselves should handle. Thank you. Hi there, Explorer. I appreciate you. Well, good morning to you. That being said, if you're not savvy to the point of handling certain things, then to me, you should have enough business acumen to reach out. Hey there, twin, you're back. Thank you so much. You should have enough business acumen within yourself to reach out to someone that truly can help you with your channel and make sure that things can go as smooth as possible. I know, twin, you're working all the time. I feel like I'm working all the time as well. But thank you to those that are coming in. Please make sure you double tap that screen. If you have not subscribed, if you would like, you may do that as well. But as I was saying, to make sure that your platform runs as smoothly as possible, I have witnessed with my own big brown eyes with a little slight blue ring around them. I'm going to do a close-up of that because some people have noticed it, others don't, but I kind of think it's cool. But anyway, back to the topic. Sector dysfunction. You have to be very careful with whom you surround yourself with. Not everyone is there with good intentions. Sometimes it may begin that way, but oftentimes it may not. Now, I have witnessed people there, and they've been dedicated. Others, absolutely. You stay blessed as well. Explore with Munawar. And I hope I'm saying that correctly. But you must, you just have to be aware of motives. And when you have large platforms, even if you have smaller platforms, and that is what I wanted to say. I got a little bit off track, but there are several, and I've shared them out, smaller platforms. 400 in the chat, and they're speaking on subjects that are relevant to the world, relevant to real issues. Now, I'm not saying that platforms should be devoid of the entertainment value, but, and this is where some people may get upset. Hey there, St. Michael's, how are you? Thank you so much for stopping by. But there are some of you that, to me, are strictly there for the foolery. And again, it could be age-related. It could be many things. Sorry about that, St. Michael's TV. That was Nightbot. Nightbot has been really ornery tonight for some reason. But some of you hang on the words of people that, number one, you do not know. Number two, you require no proof other than listening to them because they may sound loud, because they may sound boisterous. That does not make one to be, number one, knowledgeable or accurate with what they're saying or what they have said. There has been, unfortunately, a lot of division. To me, that could have been avoided in the very beginning. But because I believe it was allowed, a lot of foolery and F crap was allowed for so long that it got out of control. And here we are today. Again, St. Michael's TV, I'm sorry, that was Nightbot. It was not me. Now there are certain little subsectors that have broken off. As it relates to the ladies, this may upset some, it may not, but again, I'm going to speak my truth tonight. I believe that envy of certain people came in and caused division as well. And when I say ladies, I'm not speaking of age or race. I'm speaking about women in general who, in my opinion, just sitting back watching everything play out, who vied for a spot, who wanted the attention of a particular individual. I've heard certain women down others on appearance and intellect. But if I have to be honest, and I'm going to be honest, one particular individual truly supported, and I know this for a fact, truly had love, and others didn't like it. Then you had a population of people, men and women, who wanted to be, quote unquote, investigators. Doxers is really what I want to say, but I'm just going to say investigators, digging and digging and digging. But wanted to use for educational and entertainment purposes. But then when the pendulum hit certain individuals with the same, then the victimhood came out. Now, if you're speaking on a story and you need something to reference, I understand. But in all honesty, in my opinion, some of these things were done with malicious intent. Hi there, the boxing scholar. And it's backfired. I had someone in a particular chat, popular, funny person that I follow, and I followed for a while, verbally tried to debunk something that I knew was incorrect, but because I'm not loud, or because I don't have that type of audience, that person stopped speaking for a bit. Now, there's a particular person, and I'll just say a showgirl, And people know this. She knows this. I do not like her behavior at all. But what I can say, what I can absolutely confirm, and I will, and you all can do that as well if you take time and stop listening to certain people. Now, I'll get to that in a moment. But there was a situation where it was alleged that this showgirl made up attending a court hearing. That showgirl was 100% correct. Now, just because people may not see something or may not know where to go to look does not mean it doesn't exist. And someone in the chat said, well, such and such said, I don't give a damn what such and such said. Not everyone knows where to go to find information. Now, there are a lot of people who can go to particular websites that are public, but there are other resources that may show something that other people may not know about. The case number was posted 2-3 years ago. And if some of you who think that you know everything, and I don't think that I know everything, let me put that out there. But I can say, and I will be showing over the weekend just a little bit to confirm to some of you that doubt what it is that I speak about, how to actually do things. Because some of you, as I said, talk really tough behind the keyboard. And I went through what I went through about 3 years ago, and I learned from that. And yes, it bothered me. And I dealt with a lot because of it. But I'm not the same person anymore. And I am a lot stronger. And since coming out of the hospital, going through with what I went through, I fear no man, no woman. The only thing I fear is my Creator. So let me be clear on that. So you can say what you want, make videos. It doesn't matter. Anyone can talk tough behind a keyboard. Anyone can sit behind a keyboard and pull information, pull reports. Anyone can get behind the wheel of a vehicle and drive by someone's house or walk by really quickly. But the difference between those individuals and myself, I've actually gone and knocked, not knowing what or who may have been behind the doors. So I believe that in itself, and I've actually shown videos of that, shows that I actually pull up. I don't talk foolish pull-ups on the internet for clicks and views, or I just don't do that. There's no break in the things that I've done. So, that being said, just because you go to a site and pull a record doesn't mean you understand the record. That's been proven before as well. And as I said, I've been to many, many different sectors on this app, and it's been the same thing. There are many things in other sectors, and some of these other sectors are hot. You want some entertainment? You may want to explore other places and other people out there. Trust me on that. But anyway, I've seen, as I said, dysfunction in that women have been degraded on a daily. And it seems like it's an accepted practice. I also see and hear women doing the same thing. Now, you have your right to respond the way you see fit. But keep in mind, your children, your family members may be watching. Some of them may not care, but I would think at a certain age, you would have some modicum of self-respect with yourself. And fact check some of the things that you may hear or see. Do I believe that people can change? Absolutely. I'm growing. I'm still growing. I'm not perfect. I've absolutely, in my time, have thrown rocks and attempted to hide my hands. It's not worth it. Some of you are still doing that. And then when it gets a little bit hot, you want to play victim. You want to pretend, I knew this, I knew that. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. I said earlier this year that 2024 was going to be the year of exposure, and it has been an all-time high of exposing. Hi there, Leonia, and thank you for coming back. I appreciate it. I'm just speaking on and answering or offering my commentary on a question that I heard as far as what's happening in a sector. What's happening is you're allowing certain people, in my opinion, that absolutely add no value. If anything, they're draining you of value. Some of these people, in my opinion, unbeknownst to them, maybe they do know and don't care, are being used because of dislike towards another person. You should never, ever allow anyone to use you. There are people that if they see donations or notoriety given towards someone else, the person who sees that may get upset. And whether you realize it or not, that's the goal. That's the intent. To keep stuff brewing, to keep things going. But after, because we do know, when you're disingenuous, it doesn't last long. When that dries up, and it looks like many wells are beginning to get extremely dry and extremely parched. The paranoia, the blame is starting to rear its head. As long as you're on a receiving end of something, everything is good. But the minute, the very second, something is said to you or directed to you, then you're on the defensive. You want to bring people to the court of law. Then you have others who claim to want to uplift humanity. And the only thing that you have uplifted were cancer sticks, flat chicken wings, and Kool-Aid, all of which are unhealthy. How the hell do you justify uplifting humanity and you display unhealthy behavior and then instigate situations just to end up, unfortunately, on the losing end? I am an empath, and when I see people hurt, because I've been hurt, I've extended assistance. But I've noticed that assistance wasn't really appreciated. In fact, dirt was thrown on my name. So, because of that, I'm going to have to limit assistance for some people. Not everyone, but for some. Now, to the men. I have never in my life seen no. I have never seen a group of men who are completely enamored with another, that they will do and say anything for the admiration, the adoration from another man. Some of these people who claim to be married or in relationships, you can't be. You can't be. As a matter of fact, I know for a fact some of you are not. That too, in time, like other things that have been said, will come out. The bottom line is this. Thank you, oracles. Many people Many people are not who they say they are. And in these days and times on social media, you do have to be careful. You do. I remember back in the day, and I'm telling my age, and it's okay, where we had the white pages. The white pages would give your entire name, your street address. Nowadays, there are people, and we've seen this, with a couple of strokes on the keyboard. You have enough information to know where these people reside, unfortunately. And there are people that, like I said, have gone to residences. Number one, that's extremely dangerous. And number two, are you really receiving gratification from doing that? Some of us, in my opinion, are too old to be doing that. Life is short, and if you followed me and my journey, you should, for those of you that are truly married, those that are truly in relationships, should be, in my opinion, enjoying social media, enjoying networking, enjoying your family, and enjoying your loved ones. Not bullying people, not harassing people. Because all of that energy that some of you have put in, those people are still living their lives. And in fact, they appear to be much more happier because they've broadened their horizons. They've learned to network. Now, some publicity isn't good publicity. We know this. But if you can look at yourself at the end of the day and you're happy, I mean truly happy, and happiness does show on your face, you can hear it in your voice, you can see it in body language. And to me, that's the most important thing. On social media, you will stand the chance of being talked about, sometimes in a positive way, sometimes in a negative way. And as I've said, I do believe that there are people who have made mistakes and they have changed. They've offered apologies, and they either are cordial or they've gone their own ways, and it's been fine. However, you have others who pretend to be cordial, and every opportunity they get, they may use to try and stir the pot again. And unfortunately, we have men in their 50s, late 40s, who do that. You have men who sit around and gossip like women. And that's what is causing a lot of the dysfunction. If originators or leaders, if you will, of certain sectors or areas would set a standard and stick by it, some of the dead weight would fall off. And you can be like Phoenix rising once again. But until that happens, as long as you allow dead weight, and it's a lot of it, you're not going to prosper as much as you have the potential, in my opinion, of doing. A loud voice sometimes mirrors emptiness. What are you speaking about that's positive, that can truly uplift individuals? Many people saw things in the beginning. In this jurisdiction, people have gone back to school. Now, the last year or so, 2 years, there are several people that were raising funds for back to school. Now, I'm not going to say that it didn't happen this year, but I haven't seen any posts. Haven't seen any shoe drives, book bags. And there have been donations and super chats. So, what happened this year? Inflation? No. You're going to have to try something else. Which makes me wonder, again, are many of you truly for the kids and education, the protecting of women? Not to say that women expect that, but there are some people that it's come out of their mouths, but there are others, like I said, will demean women in a minute. And some of you women out there, you've been reckless with your mouths as well. If you truly follow the behavior, and if it does not add up to what's being said, and more times than not, you have to question the sincerity of people. I've caught so many people being disingenuous, but I don't say anything. I mean, every now and again, I'll throw a subliminal. That's just me, because number one, I don't want negativity brought to that person's platform. That's the reason why I don't like to do it. And number two, those people know what they have done or what they've said in reference to me. So there's no need for me to do that. But in answer to the question, as far as what is going on in the sector, my answer to you is look in the mirror. Look at what and who is around you. Look at these padded resumes of certain individuals who claim to be business oriented or extreme. Some of them cannot put it, use it. We all can improve, I believe, in various areas of our lives. And let me say this. And hopefully it'll fall on the ears that it needs to. You may not like a certain person's delivery, and he can be pretty harsh. But I've listened to this particular individual, and I have to be honest. Some of the things that he says or has said has been spot on. Now, do I like hearing some of the commentary and references to certain women? No. That's why I'll leave and then I'll come back. But again, freedom of speech. We have a right to say what we want to, whether people like it or not. Now, there are exceptions to that. We already know that. But this person, for many, is looked at as an outcast. But to me, when they were together, meaning on a platform, there was a dynamic that actually worked for a while. And then it started to bust apart at the seams. Will it ever come back together? I don't know. Who knows what the future may hold? As I said, there have been relationships, and when I say relationships, I'm speaking in general, in all walks of life, that you would think after horrible things have been done and said, people have actually been able to come back together. And I'm talking about unions, and they've been stronger afterwards. So those things can actually, in my opinion, happen not only on the social media platform, but in real life. So take accountability. Learn how to not only listen, but hear other people. You are not that big that you cannot take a few moments just to respect another person's opinion and listen to them before you decide to cut them off. That doesn't show dominance. In my opinion, it shows insecurity and a lack of professionalism. And that's just constructive criticism. You can receive it any way you choose to. I have to. And I'm not a celebrity. I'm just a plain Jane. And I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with being able to breathe without the need of oxygen, at least not right now. I'm happy with being able to walk without the assistance of anyone else, at least for right now. I'm happy with being independent once again, at least for right now. These are things that many people take for granted. And I'm going to let you know again, never take things for granted. Because with a blink of an eye, your entire world can turn upside down. We've seen it. We've seen it in the entertainment industry all week. Every day, it's something that we see and hear. So be mindful of how you treat people. Be mindful of who you hold near and dear to you. And please be mindful of what you share, because unfortunately, when people get angry or if people feel betrayed, all expectations of privacy, and trust me, I've learned this the hard way, is out the window. I do hope that something in this broadcast switched on the light bulb, because many of you, in my opinion, are asleep. And there are many people on here that, including myself, you may not like the delivery, you may not like the behavior. I've already mentioned earlier that there's behavior of certain people I don't care too much for, but at the same time, some of the things said have been spot on, and I have to be honest with that. Just because one person says something, that includes me, don't take it for face value. Learn the history of people before you gravitate too much. Some of the things that are hidden to you, but others know about, others have actually spoken about, but because you may not like them, you brush it off. They're actually truth. If you take the time and listen. There's an old adage, which happens to be true. Not everybody is lying. So with that, I do plan to go live once I get off of work. I want to speak on mental health. I will drop the link. I'm sure there are other people that will be enjoying the foolery that goes on. Again, that's the entertainment value, and that's what people gravitate towards. But I want to speak on something that is, to me, very serious, and it's been heavy on my heart. So thank you to those that took a moment to come in. Hey, twin, I see you still here. Leonia and everyone else. Appreciate you all. And hopefully I will see some of you all later. If not, I'll see you when I see you virtually. You all take care and thank you.